Hello and welcome to Lesson 5, Part D in the online terrestrial navigation course. Today's lesson is another lesson on fuel consumption. If you haven't already done so, please check the description of the video where you'll find a link to a worksheet you can download and follow along with the lesson. Alright, let's jump right in. Question 1. While steaming at 15 knots, your vessel burns 326 barrels of fuel per day. What will be the rate of fuel consumption if you decrease speed to 12.2 knots? Okay, here the problem gives us no distance. In the previous lessons, if the problem didn't give us consumption, we simply eliminated that from the equation, or no speed, we eliminated that from the equation. When the problem gives us no distance, we also eliminate that from the equation, but we change the speed from squared to cubed, and we'll use the following formula. New consumption over old consumption equals new speed cubed over old speed cubed. And now we just go to the question and figure out what it's asking for and manipulate the formula around to get the right answer. Here the question wants to know what will be the rate of fuel consumption. So we're looking at a new consumption problem. We'll get new consumption on the left side of the equal sign by itself by taking the old consumption from the bottom left and moving it to the top right. Now we have an equation we can work with, so let's go to the problem and start pulling numbers. While steaming at 15 knots, that looks like an old speed to me, so let's plug that into the old speed. Your vessel burns 326 barrels of fuel per day. Looks like an old consumption, so let's plug that into old consumption. And the problem tells us we're going to decrease our speed to 12.2 knots and wants to know the rate of consumption. So let's put the 12.2 in the new speed and then key everything into the calculator. And again, here we're using the Texas Instrument 30XA calculator. If you're following along with the calculator, this one's got a little bit different approach to the problem. If you notice right here, you'll have a second function key. That's a second function key. And if you have the calculator itself rather than the simulator, you'll notice that above all these keys, there's something in lime green. The simulator here, I've just put in what we're going to be using for this course. Down here above the number 1, you'll see an x cubed. It works just like the x squared button up here, but you have to press the second function and then x cubed first. So we're going to key in 12.2 second function x cubed times 326 divided by, and since we only have one number on the bottom here, we don't use the parentheses. We'll say 15 second function x cubed equals, comes up to 175.39, so it looks like A will be our answer. So a decrease of less than 3 knots cuts our fuel consumption almost in half. That's pretty amazing there. All right, if you haven't already done so, go ahead and grab that worksheet out of the description. Continue to work it until you score 90% or better before moving on to the next lesson. Again, if you find these videos useful, give us a like and a share. Maybe subscribe to the page. All right, see you next time.